Welcome back, everyone. First off, Happy New Year, 2020 Vision. You have me, Prince Aya, one of your co-hosts, and Brian Lyford. What's up? And we also have a special guest, Will Swag Peters.
Swag Liberace.
There you go.
What's up? We in here. Easy okay, we here.
All right, well, let's just start off the new year, like slight conversation. What y'all been up to? How was y'all?
Man, New Year's was it was alright, man. It was okay, but it could have been a lot better if I ain't fall asleep. I fell asleep at 11:30.
First off, that sounds wonderful to me. So I don't know about you. I'm getting older. I like falling asleep a little bit earlier nowadays.
I mean, when you got a girl that's all the way in another country and she ain't talk to you,
oh damn,
kind of
I hope
spicy.
she don't listen to this.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
How about you, Brian?
I just went to a friend's house, just watched TV, play some games.
You watched the ball drop?
Kinda, sorta. Like I went up, like when they were counting down, and then they Happy New Year. And I'm like, all right, y'all, I'm out.
Well, I definitely just went to sleep at like 12:15. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I didn't even watch the ball drop. I just saw Twitter say Happy New Year, and then I went to sleep. Like,
See, the thing for me, right, is that like I got friends in Korea, and they wished me Happy New Year like 14 hours earlier.
Yeah.
So it was like I was already like in like the New Year mood.
Mm.
Like for me, I was already in 2020 at the time.
I was the same way.
So basically, America is slow.
Well, we are on the later end of the time zone. Yes.
Yeah, makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, Brian's calling America's time slow.
Well, we do that dumb thing of which is daylight savings. It's so funny trying to explain that to other people who don't live in the U.S. and they're just like, so you put your time back
An hour?
An hour?
Is that what?
Why?
The way it's set up,
In
it's hard to
America.
explain.
Yeah.
So to bounce off that, let me ask you two. Any concrete plans for the new year? Any New Year's resolutions or goals or?
I don't believe in resolution. You just keep grinding until you get better. But
I'm kind of the same way with that. Yeah.
like,
If you got the same habits as last year, you're gonna be doing the same thing this year. You know what I'm saying? So,
well, I won't say you can change, but like you're not gonna just have this new year type attitude.
I get it.
Just-
Like you don't need the new year to be like, all right, I'm gonna change my.
you don't
ways.
need to announce it.
Yeah, like just do it.
Like,
just do it.
All it
Like,
takes is just wake up in the morning. It's like, yo, I feel like doing something different. Like you don't gotta wait for the new year. You don't gotta wait for the new month or the new week. Like you just wake up in the morning and you're just like, all right, today is a new day.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
also with resolutions, I feel like you're setting yourself up.
Yeah.
Especially if you're announcing it to the world. And
Yeah.
And you
And
don't
the thing
do
is,
it.
hey, to be fair, people do that on purpose because they want to be held accountable. So people will look after them. It's like, yo, like, how you still doing on that resolution? Like, you say you're going to the gym. Like, how's that been going? It's like, oh man, I've been doing it. I'm kind of slacking a bit. It's like, oh man, that was your New Year's resolution. Like, you gotta stick with it.
I get the accountability.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like when it gets to June and then you haven't been going to the gym like you were supposed to, and it's like, all right, it's summertime, so you're gonna just drink more. What's gonna happen? You're gonna drink a lot more beer, and then you go in this vicious cycle. When it gets cold again, you're not gonna go to the gym again, and then you have the New Year
like
resolution.
Wayne said, real G's move in silence. You don't gotta announce nothing. Just keep going. Do what you do. Keep grinding. You know what I'm saying? That's it. That's all. Just keep doing it.
Yeah, for me, that is like what 2020 is supposed to be. It's like, yeah, I'm just gonna keep working on things, keep working on my education, my side projects.
Yeah.
And hopefully I'm in a much better place
Different incomes.
in 12 months.
Yeah, 12 months, not an entire decade. People are thinking like, all right, this entire decade gonna be my decade.
Bro, a decade is so
years,
fucking
bro. That's
long.
10 years, bro. Like,
Imagine where you were in 2010.
like, come on.
Like,
man.
what were you doing in 2010?
Like, you're not thinking of
We
yourself.
were all
in
still in
2030.
high school.
We were.
Like, you were just graduating. I was.
Nah, I wasn't graduating.
I graduated 2011. He already graduated.
I wasn't yet.
Oh.
No, not yet. When
yeah,
2010
yeah,
During
hit
this time, 2010, I was actually
in New Jersey.
Jersey.
Nah, around this time, I actually was home and going
Oh,
through
yeah,
legal,
Yeah.
problems.
Oh yeah, you remember that time
Exactly
in
10 years
2010?
ago. 10 years ago, exactly. That's
that's
a real special time.
Oh,
Yeah,
my
that's
God.
Oh, well, I almost forgot about that.
All right, so let me go into the next segment. Will.
Yeah.
So you have this little I wouldn't call it like a side project. It's actually like your hobby, right? Or like it's like, what would you consider rapping to you? What does it mean?
I mean,
well, you just spoiled it.
It's always it's a hobby, but it's a hobby that you can turn into a profession. You know what I'm saying? And at this point, I would consider me a professional. I've done a lot, you know what I'm saying, over the last 10 years, you know what I'm saying? So I would say it's more of a profession because I take it seriously. I don't just take it like
seriously, and it's also something you've gotten paid to do.
Exactly. So it's like, I mean, hobby, nah. I would say football right now is a hobby.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? I would put rapping a little bit over that.
All right now. So when did you start rapping, and how long have you been in the game?
First time I ever put out or rapped was when I was 13. I was 13 with my cousin.
Okay.
Shout out Watch, cause he been on me ever since. Told me never put down my pen, and I listened to him, stuck with me. But yeah, it was when he was 13 in his living room on his computer. That was right when No Ceilings dropped. Man, and I started really taking it seriously. I would probably say 21. 21 is when I was really taking it seriously.
Okay.
Beforehand, it was more of a hobby. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But then when I finally realized, I'm like, okay, got a little something. Okay, I see the crowd's reaction. I see people's reaction, not just around me, not just my immediate friends or nothing like that, just randoms.
Okay.
You know? So that's when I knew I was like, man, I want to do this. Like, I can do this. So why not?
So
take it serious.
How long would you say like you've been rapping like in total then?
Man, so
you're 27, 28 now?
Yeah, I'm about to be 28, man.
Okay.
Be 28, man. So
that's coming soon this month, right?
Yeah, 4 days.
There
man.
you go.
Yeah.
Happy early birthday.
Go season. Thank you.
We're having a party at your house?
There you go.
Nah, I ain't having no party. we probably will fuck up DC though. So if anybody want to fuck with us, we can.
Okay.
Yeah. But I would say probably like seriously, I would say 7.
7 years.
Yeah.
Good hard 7 years.
Yeah, I would say 7 years. Seriously.
Okay. All right.
In total, gotta be at least like 14. I've been writing since I was 14.
I think we heard anything from, I don't know about you, Brian, but when I heard anything from you, it's probably like when we were like 15, 16 years old.
Yeah.
So that's almost like the decade.
Yeah.
So that's why I thought you want to aim for like 8, 9 years, seriously. But
I gotta be serious with myself.
Yeah, I feel it.
I gotta be real with myself, taking it seriously. Yeah.
I didn't write this down, but what's a little like highlight or resume where you performed this stuff? So the audience to know.
Man, I opened up for Juicy J, Echo Stage. It was like 2K people in there, man. It was lit. We shut down Ultra Bar for my bro B-Day.
Okay.
Shout out New Money. What else? Rose Bar, Barcode. Almost a majority of clubs in DC I've been in, man, and I fucked them up.
Were you were opening for majority of them, or were you headlining?
Nah, the Ultra Bar, when we shut down Ultra Bar, we was headlining. We was the main event.
All right.
Did you ever do were you ever at the Fillmore before?
Also did at the Fillmore. That was a showcase too. That was for I think it was Def Jam. Yeah, we did do that. I did do that with Fillmore. That was more recent too. That was last year. That was last year or a year before last. Also, a couple pop-up events. Got to show love too. Couple other radio stations we was on. I forgot that radio station that I was on. Like
you've been interviewed before a radio station.
Yeah,
That's tough.
A few
That's
times.
tough. I like that.
It was it was crazy because at that time it was one of the biggest internet radio stations.
Okay. So this was like probably like what 2013, 14?
This was 2015, 16, I think it was.
So they were blowing up, I guess.
Yeah.
It wasn't a podcast. It was like an actual
radio station.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what's up. So what's your writing process?
Writing? Usually it just depends on how I feel. If I'm going through something, I usually like to rap about what I'm going through or like what I've gone through, what I've seen. Like, if not firsthand, secondhand, you know what I'm saying? Like, but
everyone's writing process is different. And that's why I asked.
Yeah.
Like,
So it's like
some people don't write.
Yeah, some people do. I mean, I don't really believe that too much sometimes.
You see, that's what we're just talking about, like off the record.
You're
like, man, people say they don't write, man, they're full of shit.
Like, of course, it's been times where I started recording before writing.
Okay. Just to get a sound and like a flow going. Yeah, exactly. Makes sense.
Makes sense. And maybe I'm hot that particular moment, and I'm just like, I just keep going until I don't have to write. Right. Yeah, I've been through that. Yeah, but ain't no artist gonna sit here and say every single song that they put out.
That takes their craft seriously.
Yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I mean, I know it's nowadays, people punch in, they keep punching in. That's like the new wave now, but that's not my process. I either, if I'm going through something, I'll be writing about that, or I just need a beat. If I fuck with a beat, I'm gonna kill it. Like, I'm gonna kill it.
No, I like that confidence. I like that. So my next question, unless Brian, you have a question that popped into your head?
So in terms of like the writing process, right? Like once you find that beat, and then like you just start like, you know, writing the verse for it, and you go in like in the booth after you like written the verse, you know, like do you just like rip on like one take? You know, because you were just talking about earlier, like the wave nowadays, like rappers like they do punch-ins.
If anybody know me, anybody been in the stew with me, of course, gang has, of course, a certain few have. They've always seen me go in there and I want to take everything. You know what I'm saying? I don't like to stay long in the studio. Okay. You know what I'm saying? I go in there with ammunition. I learned that from Wayne too. Shout out to Tunchi. That's my favorite rapper of all time.
That takes time too.
Yeah.
It's not just something like everybody thinks that way. Like it's after going in the studio so many times, and you're like, all right, I got something organized in my brain. I just go in one take. That makes sense.
Exactly. You don't waste no time, and you get more done. So I mean, of course, there's been times where I've been in the studio and I was, you know, had the leisure to just sit there and write, of course. But majority of the time, I come in there prepared. I come in there.
You're trying to be productive and effective.
Exactly.
So my next question is actually, what's your favorite part about making music? Like, I feel like some people it's the show, some people it's like actually coming up with the idea of the song and then putting it out, collaborating with artists. Like, what's your favorite part about making music?
My favorite part, it would have to be the impact that it puts on other people.
Okay.
Like
after you release the song?
After I release it, after someone else hears it, that would probably be my favorite part, because after I realized that my songs and my lyrics and my music, it touched certain people, certain ways, different ways, it was like, damn, like, all right, that makes somebody feel good, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because I mean, that for a lot of artists, that is the main reason why they make music, you know what I mean? Because it's like, who makes music just for themselves, you know what I mean? Like, I know a lot of artists like to say, it's like, oh, I make music for myself, I can make music that I want to listen to. It's like, that may be partially true, but what you really want is to share it with people, and for people to be like, yo, like, I relate to this. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, this speaks to me.
All right, to be a little bit different then, I love the one, it gives me that Friday nights feel again. Okay. Like back when we played football right under the lights. When you step into the studio, you step into the booth, you right there in front of that mic, it's like
time to perform.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I love that feeling. And I also love the feeling of like the challenge. It's like putting together a song, not just rapping. Like, I'm talking about making real music that's gonna last. It's a process. And then on top of that, it's more of like, it's just a lot with it. You can't just go in there and just be like, okay, I'm gonna just say what I want and then say whatever random things. Like, nah.
You're trying to tell a story. You're trying to put something out there and mean something to people.
Exactly. It has to be some type of topic that comes with a title or something like that. That's what I usually go off of, and I like about that. And I like that it challenges me. It's like a puzzle.
Okay.
It's like rapping, like making a good song.
It's
like
a
puzzle. Exactly.
There you go.
Exactly.
Right.
It's literally like a puzzle.
You had to plug that in, didn't you?
You already know what it is, man. Go ahead.
Yeah, that was perfect though.
There you go.
Yeah, that's what I love about it. Like, once I like get that final piece and it's just like, boom, all right, bet. Let me hear that. All right, let me punch me back in, give me back in. All right, I'm gonna switch this up. All right, put that right there. All right, drop the beat, cut the beat. All right, bet. Yeah. All right, you got that puzzle, and I hear that sound that I want to hear. I love that. Orchestrating,
engineering, putting pieces together. I feel it. What about you, Brian? You want to plug another question before I move on?
Ooh, you put me on the spot.
I just want to make sure that we get all the questions out there, you know, because I got questions written down, but some
all right. I got a pretty big question. You got any advice for people who are starting to like make music professionally? Like any sorts of like any kind of like business advice?
Of course. If you don't know to get everything mastered, get your masters on it, man. If you're not going to these producers and paying for these beats, because producers and engineers, y'all know how important they are, right?
Especially, a lot of producers get publicity and stuff like that. Engineers are the unsung hero of recording music.
Man, of course.
Like, holy
because they mix it, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like it all depends. If they know what they're doing, they know what they're doing. If they don't, they don't. But definitely, they gotta get their props, man. Because it's a lot of your favorite artists that don't really sound like that. It's usually the production.
Of course.
It is what it is, man.
I think people are starting to also figure that out when it comes to like auto tunes and stuff. And there's
like auto tune.
Yeah, there's a lot of artists who like perform on stage and you're like, yo, this is not the song.
Yeah.
It sounds like on the radio or on
he is
Spotify.
not that guy.
That is not the person. That's not the same person.
This is the clone.
That's an imposter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, for MF Doom, it was literally an imposter.
yeah. So definitely, my advice is definitely make sure you dot your I's, cross your T's, man. Make sure everything is in your name. You getting paid for it. Don't get no percentages or nothing. Don't sign no contract. You can do it independently. You just gotta know how to do it, man.
Especially
be
nowadays.
Smart.
Yes,
exactly. Be smart.
Nowadays, like 2020, bro. Like,
come on,
you
gotta be with the vision, man. You gotta do it yourself.
Believe in yourself. Get a team around you that believe in you too, and the vision that everybody see the same thing.
Hey, say that last part louder for the people in the back. Make sure you have a supporting team around you that actually supports what you're doing.
They see the vision.
Yeah, all
see their vision. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's funny. Earlier today, right? I was at a panel at MagFest, and actually, it wasn't earlier today. It was actually yesterday. I was at MagFest earlier today, but this panel I'm referring to, I was at yesterday, and they were talking about how to because we were talking about how to get popping on Twitch and streaming and shit like that. And one of the questions was like, how do you what are some good like marketing tips for yourself like when you're starting out? And then the presenter was like, honestly, just make sure you got like friends and like people around you that like will support and share your stuff. Like taking that 30 seconds to like retweet your tweet that you're going live and like just share it, and like that goes for like any kind of like
because that's like word of mouth.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, like people are gonna believe in word of mouth over like some paid sponsorship partnership, like
exactly.
marketing.
Even more specific than like word of mouth is just like having friends that like will just share it. You know what I mean? Like
it's genuine.
Yes.
So it's like,
and that just goes for like any kind of like any type of like independent profession you're getting into that relies on having that exposure. Just having you're a close group around you that like will like just help you even if it's not much, like they'll still like
it's still
take the time out of your day to help support you.
A lot of sense. So this is one of my last questions. I don't know if Brian has one more, but what's your future plans with like music, I guess, growing?
2020, I'm gonna declare it now. My debut mixtape, I'm gonna drop it. I'm gonna get some songs together. It's gonna be a couple old ones. It's gonna be a lot of new ones. Got a few already that I'm ready to drop, but videos and everything's coming as well. 2020 gonna be a nice year.
Okay.
Let's just put it like that. And
you don't have an exact date, do you?
Nah, I don't have no exact
date. We can't speak on those things.
My man says like I'm gonna make the debut. I'm gonna say, I was like, okay, he's gonna give us a date. He's gonna give us a date. I got a little excited. I'm not gonna lie, I got a little excited.
We only 4 days into January right now.
4 days into January.
But it seems like we might go into World War III, so I don't know. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like,
this motherfucker here, man.
Come on, man.
At least we know he'll pull the trigger, man. That's all I can say.
4 days in, I can't even get a week, and we're already talking about war.
Yeah, he's wild, man. It's a wild time right now. Time.
When is this new year with beef? Crazy.
New decade. we're not even a whole week into the new decade.
It's already going downhill. We already about to start World War III.
Look, I just want to make it known on this podcast, none of us want any smoke with Iran.
None of us.
We don't. We did not want this. This is not the will of the people.
Man, this is one person.
You know what I mean?
So if we just by any chance have any listeners from Iran, just know we did not ask for this.
Matter of fact, we love you. So
we love y'all.
Yeah, exactly.
We love y'all.
Yeah,
like we don't want the smoke. Come give her a hug. Come give her a hug. Come on, man. Like I'm trying to get this bomb or chemical bomb on us. Come on now.
At all, bro. I'm not.
But you got any more questions?
Yeah, I got one.
All right, go ahead.
This is a pretty cliche question, but I'll ask it anyway. Swag Liberace.
Swag Liberace.
What so far, obviously, because you still got a lot to live right now.
Mm-hmm.
What was the biggest moment for you? When I mean biggest, I mean just a moment in your career that you just had to like pause time and were just like whoa, look what I'm doing right now.
It's surreal for you, I guess.
I would have to say when we was number 2 on Splash Magazine in Germany. That's when it was on Thanksgiving too. It was a Thanksgiving day, and I saw that, and we was right ahead or right behind 50 Cent over in Germany. That was when the time I was like,
what year was that?
Damn, it was the Finish 'Em song. My Finish 'Em, you can go YouTube that Finish 'Em video. Swag Liberace, it'll be up there. But featuring my man G Flow. Shout out to G. Shout out the whole fam over there in Germany too. But that was 2015.
A lot happened in 2015 for you, bro.
Man.
A lot happened in 2015.
Yeah, we was moving. I was moving something crazy, man. Then life.
Yeah, sometimes life is. Yeah.
Let me just say, AKA bills. I'm a realist. You know what I'm saying? Like
makes sense. Bills.
Independent. Like you know what I'm saying?
Closer to 30, being independent.
We're still grassroots here.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
so, just to go into the next segment of our last thoughts. So, my last thoughts is I hope with your future endeavors with music, blessings come your way. I'd love to hear more music.
Appreciate it, bro.
Are you trying to get on radio or I feel like that's like an option. Like you don't need the radio to get your sound out there.
Well, radio's in a weird spot right now because it's like there's just so much music, so much like popping music. It's like it's hard for one radio station to just cover everything.
Yeah.
So they just kind of gravitate more to the things that are just more radio friendly. Even though it's not might not be the most popping thing out. Like they might not play the most popping things out because they're just not as radio friendly.
I mean, they're still on trending songs too.
They are, but it's just like I said, there's just so much quote unquote trendy.
Yeah.
Like because it's like when Spotify blew up and then Apple Music followed. We got Tidal now, Spinrilla, Dat Piff. I mean, what's still the big thing for music that
SoundCloud.
Yeah.
SoundCloud, that Piff, all the ones you just named.
So many different avenues and outlets to get out. I was asking about radios because it could be a goal oriented thing too.
I mean,
just get your sound out there. Some people's goals are different too. That's what I was asking.
I mean, it's not a big thing for me.
Yeah, I figured.
What you would probably be more interested in is seeing your songs featured in a Spotify playlist, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. Exactly.
I feel like that's a new goal too.
Yeah.
Having your song pop up in Rap Caviar.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
know what I mean?
Yeah, that's some other stuff right there. I would rather do that than try to get something on radio or something.
Yeah, no disrespect to radio. We love 92Q. We love 93.9.
I mean, I'm gonna be real. I don't listen to none of that.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I don't even turn it on. If I was riding silent before I ride to the radio.
I'll still throw on the lunchtime.
It's not even about turning it on. It's just that we said before, we have so many different options. So it's if you catch the radio, it's because you caught we had a good time.
Talking about YouTube.
Yeah.
And again, it all comes back to streaming services.
Yeah.
Spotify, you don't even have to have music downloaded on your phone per se. You could just go on Spotify, hit some playlist that sounds cool, and just hit shuffle, and boom,
you're good.
That's your music, that's your radio. And then they on top of that, they also have legit radio stations on Spotify.
Yeah, exactly. And Apple Music.
Yeah.
It's just
so many avenues, so many options.
Yeah, that wouldn't be a goal.
It's hard to have an excuse nowadays.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's very hard to have an excuse nowadays.
Exactly. That's exactly how I feel about why I'm just saying, fuck it, I'm gonna just get this mixtape together. I'm gonna drop this shit 2020, and we gonna turn up.
All
We
right.
gonna turn up.
We'll make sure to
Are we
let our
invited
audience
to the listening
know
party?
if you let us know.
Say that again.
I said we invited to the listening party.
Of course, always, always. This is family ties, my ties. Always.
Yeah, just let us know when you drop it. We'll help promote it. You already know.
Already.
Okay. How about you, Brian? You got last thoughts?
I mean, I already kind of shared, like, you know, what I want to say. I just wanted to give, you know, our guest here the opportunity to shout anybody out.
There you go. I was gonna give him last but not least, but you know,
I know he probably got
I mean,
a pretty decent list.
Yeah. Only thing I can say is shout out Easy OK, shout out my gang. I appreciate everything y'all done did put together. I like what y'all got going, what y'all doing. Keep doing y'all thing. Y'all already know y'all got my support 110%, man. 110%. Shout out everybody that support. Shout out the fans that support. Shout out my mother. Without her, wouldn't be here.
Literally. Literally, would not be here. Literally, would not be here.
And shout out to God, because he's just been blessing me. No bull, just been blessing me.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Well, I'm gonna start out with the social media plugins. If you are looking for me on social media, my Twitter is Nigma Prince. That's NIGMAPRINCE. And then you can find me on Instagram, which is at P._NIGMA. And you can also find me on TikTok. That's another social media outlet that I'm promoting. And that's Nigma TV, NIGMA TV. Brian, go ahead.
I mean, if you want to reach out to me on Twitter, that's Brian D. Leifer, BRIANDLEIFER. If you feel so inclined to follow me on IG, I don't post too much nowadays. I've been kind of off and on. I mean, I still like to look at people's pictures and like them. So, yeah, that's Bumblebee Brian, BUMBLEBEE_BRIAN. I also want to let our listeners know that I'm currently in the early stages of working on a YouTube channel. Channel. It's like a gaming channel, but I'll have more information to share on that sometime in the near future.
Okay.
And speaking of gaming, if you wanna add me on Steam, sure. That's Sir Bumblebee, SIR_BUMBLEE_. Wait, shit, I fucked up. Wait. Alright, wait. Alright, I got this. At SIR_BUMLE. Shit, wait. You know what? Forget it. Whatever. Alright. I'll get it next time.
Last but not least, swag. Close this out.
Hey, the real _swag on everything.
Hey.
Twitter, Snapchat, SoundCloud. Go peep some music. Go download, stream, everything.
He's smart. He got continuity. We over here having different names and stuff, yo.
Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, everything. The real _swag.
Keep it simple, all across the board.
Yeah,
I feel it. Ryan, you already know our closing phrase. You already know you gotta close this out. Come on.
Hey, all right, cause our friend here hasn't heard me yet. All right, you ready for it?
Yeah.
안녕히가세요. 또 만나요.
All right, y'all. Peace.
What he said.